amigos. Hola. Buenas noches. Buenas tardes. Whatever it is, it's really tarde still here where I am. How you doing, Rory? If we haven't had a chance to meet yet, Leslie should be logging in any minute. Leslie is she's at one of our soccer games. Our daughter, freshman daughter, is she made the varsity soccer team. Anyway, so she's got a game tonight, and that Leslie is logging in from the parking lot. But she just texted me that she has to restart. Her internet connection is terrible. Her hotspot's no good. So, all right. Anyway, well, hey, welcome. Thanks for making time for this. We have got a lot of great information to review together tonight. And one of the things that we would usually review in this first meeting is a brief intro into what our volunteer work is going to look like. That information is still to be determined, what all of our community opportunities are going to be. And so we're going to put that on pause for tonight, but by our next meeting, we should have more detail. If you've been following the news, you see that COVID has had a bit of a spike in Costa Rica over the last month or so, and they're attributing it to Semana Santa and stuff. But so everybody's in a bit of a tizzy at the moment in Costa Rica. Hopefully things settle down here soon, but we've got a lot of I guess protocols and procedures set up that we feel we're going to be just great. So let's see. We'll give folks just another second. Find the chat area while we're waiting for everyone to get logged in. Find the chat area and tell us where you're logging in from tonight. And if you have one big burning question, drop that in as well. So if you've got a burning question, tell us what you've got there. Tell us where you're logging in from. All right, awesome. So we've got Kathy, Marissa, Crystal, Melissa, Brian. Awesome. Okay, all over the country. This is great. Okay, fantastic. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen. Let's see here. Let's see if you can see my screen here. Un momento. You know what? I think before I do that, I need to make sure Leslie's got, she's ready to go. So give me just 1 second here. Okay. All right. Okay. So let's take a look here. I'm going to share my screen. Thanks for your patience. All right, here we go. So this is one of our favorite little signs that we see throughout Costa Rica. Well, we say there's one trail up in the mountains where we saw this sign, Calle El Palenque. La pregunta más urgente en la vida es, ¿qué estoy haciendo por los demás? And it's a Martin Luther King quote. And what it's saying is the most urgent question in life is, what am I doing for others? And I think Leslie and I totally love this question because it reminds us of our mission, our vision, and our sort of plan for how we help others with learning Spanish to impact communities through language. And ¿qué estoy haciendo por los demás? And I hope you read this and you think and you see it as an encouragement to you improving your Spanish and how you can then take Spanish and use it within your community to make a difference, to make an impact. It really is a powerful thing when you're able to connect with people in another language. Okay, so let's jump into what we're going to be doing tonight. Some quick rules of engagement. Everybody knows this stuff since we've been online for over a year now. So hey, together, let's speak Spanish, English, Spanglish, no importa. Let's just participate together. Use your earbuds to cut out some background noise. And when you're not speaking, let's use the mute button, por favor. And when you do, let us know who you are. Make sure we know who you are when you're speaking so that we know who's talking. And then finally, chat it up in the chat box. I've got my eyes in the chat box here. And Leslie will help as soon as she gets in. Okay. All right. So let's start with our agenda. Here's what we plan to do esta noche. We're going to introduce ourselves to each other, and this would be a great time if you want to do it Spanish, awesome, English, whatever, it doesn't matter. Who are we going to be with? So we've got people coming and going throughout the trip, and so we're going to line out what it looks like in every week, who's going to be in country. And then we've got here, what does immersion mean? We'll talk about what actually is an immersion program, some obstacles to immersion and our group commitment, and then our general schedule, some optional excursion talk. We can chat about that. Lista de delincuentes. This is just a little preview. We're not going to put a list out yet, but I'm going to tell you what kind of paperwork that we're looking for from you. Just remind you. And our next meeting, we'll share the lista de delincuentes and then some next steps for you for now. Okay, here we go. Let's go ahead and get started with some presentaciones. So preséntense, please introduce yourselves, and let's do this. We'll start with a nombre, estado, where you're from, your profesión, and what is your most urgent question if you have one. Okay, so let's get some preguntas and presentaciones going. Would anyone like to get started with their presentación? Anyone want to get started? Go ahead and just unmute yourself.
Buenas tardes. Me llamo Nancy Schultz y soy de California y soy
Excelente, gracias, Nancy. Nancy, excelente. Any pregunta urgente? Any urgent questions, Nancy?
Not at the moment. I'll think of something.
All right, awesome, great. Okay, who's next?
Hola, soy Marisa, soy de Norwich, Connecticut y en ese momento soy una paramédico. Y no tengo una pregunta.
No, ninguna pregunta. Okay, all right. Está bien, está bien. Okay, ¿qué más? Who's next? Gracias, Marisa.
Hola, me llamo Stuart.
I hear you clearly, Stuart.
Yo vivo en Reno, Nevada, soy pediatra. Y no tengo preguntas ahorita.
Okay, all right, perfect. Okay, gracias. Okay, anyone next?
Hola.
Hola.
Me llamo Kathy.
Uh-huh.
Yo vivo hasta la ciudad Tampa, Florida.
Uh-huh.
No trabajar está aquí. Retired and proud of it.
Excellent. All right, muy bien. There's two good words for retired. If anybody knows them, drop them in the chat box. Any of them? Anybody know a good word for retired? Thanks. Hey, Leslie, welcome. And thanks for answering. Yes, jubilado. Lisa, great. Jubilado or retirado. Okay, jubilado and pensionado is another one. Even though no one has a pension anymore. Pensionado. All right, muy bien. Okay, excelente.
Rory, ¿puedo interrumpir?
Claro.
Okay. Hola, amigos. Lo siento, estaba manejando por toda la ciudad buscando wifi y servicio celular fuerte porque nuestra hija tiene un partido de fútbol that I want to go to and watch her soccer game, and I've been driving around looking for Wi-Fi. So I'm in the car joining you tonight. Super excited to travel with you guys. And Rory and I did plan this meeting together, although we're in separate places right now.
Are you still driving? Are you distracted driving?
No. I'm in the passenger seat now.
Okay. All right. Okay, muy bien, muy bien. Okay. All right. So next one. Who's next? Who wants to introduce themselves?
Hola, yo me llamo Cheryl. Me vivo en Arkansas. Soy una doctora de familia. No tengo ningún preguntas. Yo cansada.
All right, Cheryl. Gracias. Gracias. Okay. Excelente. Okay. Who's
Okay,
next?
next. Hola, me llamo Pascal. Vivo en Palm Beach, en Florida. Soy de Martinica, que es una isla francesa en el Caribe.
Oh,
Y estoy profesora de francés y también de español para los niños, para los principiantes.
excelente. Excelente. Gracias.
Es
Gracias.
trilingüe.
Trilingüe.
Y también hablo creol.
Creole.
Sí.
Es polyglot.
Polyglot. Yep. Yep.
Yep.
I wish.
Past trilingüe on the
I
polyglot.
wish.
All right. Who's next?
I can go. Hola, mi nombre es Nicole. Soy pediatra. Yo vivo en Carolina del Norte.
Excelente. Excelente. Nicole. Who is Jesse?
Oh, I never pay attention to that. Yeah, I'll change it.
No, it's okay.
You never
I
know
just
what
wanna
it's
know who
going to
Jesse
say.
is.
Another family member. Sorry.
Okay. No problem. All right, Nicole. Thank you. Okay. Próximo.
Hola.
Hola, Brian.
Me llamo Brian Higdon. Yo vivo en Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Yo soy médico de rehabilitación.
Excelente. Gracias, Brian. Excelente. Okay, perfecto. Próximo. I'm not keeping track of who's going, so you could totally hide in the corner if you want to, but I appreciate it if you wouldn't. Okay.
I can go.
All right.
Me llamo Rachel Martin y yo soy de Iowa. Soy una maestra de español para estudiantes en los grados séptimo a duodécimo.
Muy bien. Excelente,
Y
Rachel.
Rachel ya tiene experiencia en Costa Rica con nosotros antes, ¿verdad?
Sí, ¿verdad?
So if you need any insider scoop, you can ask Rachel. She's been with us before.
Yeah, muy bien, muy bien. Okay, próximo.
Me llamo Melissa. Soy de Michigan y soy una maestra de los niños de la escuela primaria.
Excelente, excelente. All right, muy bien. Gracias, Melissa.
Hola, me llamo Tiffany, soy de Ohio y soy una physician assistant.
Excelente, Tiffany. Gracias, gracias. Now, don't be intimidated if you're like, holy crap, everyone's speaking so much Spanish. Okay, just Espanol, Inglés, doesn't matter. We want to know who you are, and we're going to work with you right where you're starting at.
Hola, todos. Me llamo Tana y soy de Colorado. Yo vivo en Ciudad de Canyon, ciudad pequeño, y yo trabajo en administración de salud.
Okay, excelente, excelente. Gracias, Tana. Who else is ready to go?
I'll go.
Go for it, Emma. Go for it, Emma.
Hola, me llamo Emma. Vivo en San Diego, California. Soy una maestra de educación especial.
Excelente. Gracias. Okay, Lisa, was that you? Yeah.
Sí,
Esto.
buenas noches. Me llamo Lisa y soy de Davis, California. Está en el norte del estado y enseño en una escuela de inmersión de español y enseño el sexto grado y mi hijo está en mi clase este año. pero al principio yo enseñé francés como Pascal.
Okay, all right. Muy bien, muy bien. So you got
Okay.
your own child in your class.
Le toca a Cristal.
Hola, me llamo Crystal. Yo vivo en Salem, Massachusetts. And soy maestro de educación especial, maybe?
Okay, yeah.
Perfect.
Well, I am not, but I don't know if I said it right.
Sí.
Muy bien. It's perfecto, perfecto. Okay.
Hola. I'm driving right now. Just listening. I'm just getting off of work, but my name's Trishana. Yo vivo in California, and I gotta go back to driving.
All right, Trishana.
Please do.
Gracias. Especially in California. Okay. All right. Anybody else?
Hola. I'll go.
Perfect.
Hola a todos. Me llamo es Bridget Strange. Vivo en Gulfport, Mississippi. Enseño escuela secundaria para los niños y estudiantes mayores y quiero enseñar en colegio.
Excelente. Gracias, Bridget. Gracias.
Sí.
Anybody else ready?
I can go. Well, I can attempt to go.
Let's do it, Ade.
Hola, me llamo Ade. Vivo en la Louisville, Kentucky, and I am a pharmacy student. I only know how to say I'm a pharmacist in Spanish, but I am not a pharmacist, so I'm not going to say that I am a pharmacy student.
Awesome. Estudiante de farmacia. I'm gonna drop it in the
Estudiante
chat
de
for you.
farmacia. Thank
Sí.
you.
All right, Leslie, just put it in there. Estudiante de farmacia. All right, excelente. You know what that means, Dewey? You're on mute.
Sorry, I'm on mute. But yes, thanks, Ade. So now I know what pharmacy student means. Hola, me llamo Yi. Yo soy de Louisville. Soy una estudiante de farmacia. Es un placer conocerlos. Is that right?
Excelente. Yeah, it's a pleasure to meet you. Nice. Muy bien, Dewey. Muy bien. Okay, excelente, excelente. Gracias. Okay, anybody else up? Okay, well, like I said before, you can definitely hide if you want to. It's okay. We're gonna move on. Leslie, what do you say? Shall we keep going?
Yeah, let's keep going. And if people want to introduce at the end, that's fine too.
Perfect. Sounds good. Okay, aquí estamos. We did las presentaciones. Started over. All right, muy bien. So now let's take a look at who are you traveling with. We're going to go week by week throughout the program. I know it's small, lo siento, but here's who's on the program week one. So we've got Bridget, Emma, Crystal, Lisa, Melissa, Rachel, Sarah, Mark, and Lucia. They're not on the call tonight. Mark is grandpa and Lucia is granddaughter. It's going to be so much fun. And Nancy, Patrick, Marissa, Cheryl, Stuart, Tiffany, Samfira. Samfira's not on tonight. Terry, I don't think Terry's on tonight. Trishana and Lynette. So that's everyone who's all the adults that are going to be around week one.
Hey, Rory, I'm not going week one. I'm going the next week.
Did I mix that up?
And I think I should be there also.
Oh my.
Pascal.
Yeah, Pascal, her registration just snuck in last night. So that's why it's not updated. Sorry. That's my fault.
Okay. All right. All right. Okay. Well, here we go. Just like Spanish isn't perfect, neither is Rory in his details. Okay, Stuart, so you're coming week 2. Pascal's going to be in week 1. Okay, all right, my bad. We could have had some outdated Google Sheets that I didn't triple check. Okay, week 2. This is Stuart. I'm just going to go ahead and fix it right now because it kind of drives me crazy to make a mistake like that. And Pascal, you're going to be in here week 1.
Yep, put her in there. Week
right.
1
And
and
week 2 also.
and week 2. That's my fault, Pascal.
It's
'cause
okay.
I didn't have time to update it after last night.
It was
Thanks
late.
thanks for taking the fall on that one, honey. I appreciate it. Okay, all
It's
right.
supposed to be week 4, not week 1.
Carol,
I'm
you're
supposed
week
4, not week 1.
Is that right?
Oh, that's
Yeah.
Rory's fault.
That I am not week 1. I'm not coming until the 17th.
Well, there you go. I just put you on week 4.
Okay, bien.
All right.
Like no,
Muy bien.
no tengo tickets, boletos de aeropuerto. Avión. No.
All right. Lo siento, mi mal. Okay, mi mal. Okay, so take all this information with a grain of salt. Week 2, Bridget, Emma, Crystal, Lisa, Melissa, Rachel, Stuart, Nancy, Patrick, Marissa, Ade, Dewey, Marlene, Brian, Terry, Trishana, and Lynette.
Y Pascal.
Oh, Pascal also? Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay. All right. I'll do it. I'll do it later. Pascal, we know you're there. Okay. Semana Trace. We got Bridget, Emma, Lisa, Rachel, Tana, Marissa, Ade, Dewey, Marlene, Brian, Nicole, Trishana, and Lynette. And then Semana Cuatro, Lisa, Tana, Kathy, Cheryl, Marissa, Ade, Dewey, Marlene, Brian, Nicole, Trishana, and Lynette. And then week 5, it starts to get a little skinny. Marissa, Ade, Dewey, and Brian. And then week 6, very skinny. It's just the few and the proud, Dewey and Ade in country. So this kind of gives you an idea of where you're at and how many folks are going to be around while you're in country. Okay.
And Rory and I will be
Yeah.
there the whole time from the
Yep.
20. I actually arrive with a group of high schoolers. There'll be a high school group there as well, but you won't see them much. We have staggered and we're going to kind of keep pods, but Rory and I will be there from June 24th into August 2nd or 3rd. So we will be there the whole time with you guys.
Yep. I arrived with 2 of our children on the evening of the 26th. And so the first time I see you will either be, in fact, I think Patrick, aren't you flying down? I think we're on the same flight, Patrick, going from Denver into Costa Rica. So we'll meet on the 26th, but for most of you that are there week 1, I'll meet you on Sunday as we meet up together and get oriented into everything. So, all right, so if I'll go back through and make sure we've got our details correct, Stuart, Cheryl, and Pascal. Anybody else?
Nancy.
And Nancy.
Yep.
Oh, Nancy's wrong as well?
You have me down for week 1 and week 2.
And you're just, or?
Well, I'm going for 2 weeks, so you put, is that how it works?
Yeah.
If I was going for 3 weeks, then you'd put me for week 1, 2, and 3? Is that how, I wasn't sure. Okay.
So I've got you down for 2 weeks, Nancy, week 1 and week 2, but are you 3 weeks?
No.
Oh,
2
okay.
weeks.
I might want to be.
Oh, great. Yeah. Well, then let me know. We'll add you to week 3.
We have
Okay.
it. Just to reassure you guys, we're keeping track on another. This is not how we're keeping track on this document. We have it on a more official document. There just must have been some errors transferring it over. So Tiffany, we will switch that to. And someone just asked in the chat, how long is this meeting? We're going to end by 7 at the latest, or 7 Mountain Time, 6, 8, and 9. Yep. Okay. Let's move along, Rory.
All right, let's do it. Okay. Continuamos. All right. So what is an immersion program? Les, you want to take this one?
Yeah, so I'm a very visual learner, visual person. I want to know from you guys, you can put in the chat, but what images pop into your mind when you think or hear the word immersion?
And
Put it in the chat.
right in there, like in the pool.
In a pool. Okay, pool, homestay, I see in the chat. What else? Surrounded by the language and culture, like in a pool, fully invested, 99% Spanish, maybe 1 little percent of a brain break in English, right, Tana? Fun and hard living. I actually, Nicole, that's fantastic. Fun and hard. It is hard because it's a growth opportunity. Anytime you're challenged out of your comfort zone, that's where the hard comes in, but that's where a lot of growth happens as well. Living the life of the country, diving into something, says Ade. And excellent. Well, Rory and I have this image when we think of immersion. I've talked to Rory several times, but our kids, when we're on a vacation or in the summertime at a pool, when they jump into a pool, full force cannonball style, not one part of their body is sticking out of the water. And that is what this immersion experience is like. You are fully submerged. Right, you're gonna have to take on for a second.
Yeah. Yeah. So you just imagine the kid jumping off the side of the pool, cannonball style, fully surrounded. When you're eating, when you're walking, when you're watching TV, all of your input is in Spanish. And yeah, no, not drowning.
But with
Not
the
drowning. You've gotta-
support, you have a lot of support on ground, and that support starts with the pre-departure course. Okay, so make sure you're going through that pre-departure course, these meetings, and then when we are in country on immersion, Rory and I. And we actually have another trip leader that's not able for the educator program that's not on here tonight. Her name is Carly, and she's another great support as well.
Yep, absolutely. So, yep, we're there for you every step of the way. That's what kind of makes this program great, is that you're not on your own. It's not all left up to you. Okay, so there are some dangers. There is un peligro that we need to talk about, and a commitment that we would like each of you to commit to. So there's a danger and a commitment. So your biggest obstacle when you're on program, your biggest obstacle to exponential progress with your Spanish is, drum roll, it's you. It's you. It's your, how you're feeling about yourself. It's your attitude on a day-to-day basis. It's your willingness to keep going when it's hard. It's your commitment to saying, you know what, I may not know how to finish this sentence in Spanish, but I'm at least going to start this sentence in Spanish. And so you you are your biggest asset, and at the same time can be your your biggest obstacle. So keep that in mind, that the way that you approach the program is really going to set you up for amazing success, and we're going to help you with that, or it will present some obstacles to you. Let's keep going. Your second biggest obstacle to exponential language growth, what would that be? Well, the company you keep, the people you hang out with. And so there's a chance that while we're in country together, that you will come across some folks that are just preferring to speak some English, or you'll be around folks that maybe aren't encouraging you the right way for your Spanish, that kind of thing. And so you're going to want to be thoughtful about that and who you surround yourself with. Do you choose to do this with someone who maybe isn't going to push you in Spanish, or do you choose to do something else with your host family, that kind of thing? So in order for us as a group to make this really work, I mean, let's face it, we're all a bunch of English speakers, and when we get tired, we're going to want to speak some English, right? One thing that we have to do as a group in order to make this the amazing program that it is we have to make at least a commitment to, at the very least, I will start in Spanish. And you won't believe the results that happen when this is our commitment. When your commitment is that I will always at least start in Spanish, who knows how far I'll get. You know, day one, you get to a certain place, day two, another, you know, slightly further. And by the end of the week, you're noticing a huge difference in your ability to just stay in Spanish. But you won't recognize it, you won't get there if you don't first make the commitment to, okay, I'm going to at least start in Spanish. So that's our commitment. If you can commit to that with us, that's our commitment to you, that we will always be giving you as much comprehensible Spanish as possible. And if you can make that same commitment, you will be pleasantly surprised with your language progress. Leslie, anything to add here?
Yeah, I do. I want to know you can tell me in the chat, but how many of you have watched a lesson? There's a lesson there called Sacar el Jugo. So just put a number 1 in the chat if you've watched that lesson, Sacar el Jugo. Okay. Okay, a couple people. Okay, so sacar el jugo is a great expression used all the time in Costa Rica. And anyone want to unmute themselves and tell us what it means, sacar el jugo? Because this ties directly into what we're talking about right now.
It means to squeeze the juice.
Yeah, so that's the literal translation, right? And they make they make lots of fresh juice in Costa Rica, so it's like squeezing every last little drip, right? When we're talking about this language experience, we want you to sacar el jugo. So in that context, and considering your commitment and our commitment to you, how do you think that you can sacar el jugo de esta experiencia? What are some concrete ways that you want to try to sacar el jugo? You can drop it in the chat. Or unmute yourself, either way. Nice, Nicole, to relax and make mistakes. We actually want you to be committed to making mistakes also, because that is how you're going to grow and learn, is by making mistakes. No one's grading you. No one's judging you. We want you to actually learn from this experience and make the most of it. Okay. Awesome. Spend more time with the family. Rachel, that's a commitment for for the second trip for you. That's something that you've expressed that you wanted to do. That's fantastic. Just talk. Yes. Go, stay positive, keep trying, interact with the locals. Hablar 90% en español, Pascal. Excelente. Start in Spanish and don't worry about it. Yes, don't worry about it, right? There's another expression in Costa Rica that I won't bring it up right now, pero pura vida. Meaningful family interactions, get out and explore. Awesome. You guys are onto something. Stay away from Google Translate on my phone and just talk.
Yes, Sarah, absolutely. These are great comments. Nice job. That's awesome. So that's what, if we as a group can commit to at least starting in Spanish, that's what it takes for a bunch of English speakers to actually make language progress together abroad. Okay, wonderful. Okay, el horario general. So our general schedule. Here's how our general schedule is going to go. In the mornings, Monday through Friday, is when we have our scheduled community work time. Like I said, as we were starting the meeting, this is definitely to be determined, how much some of these local communities are going to allow us to interact with them due to just the whole COVID scenario. And so where we don't have regular opportunities that we normally would, we'll be replacing them with other opportunities. And some of it, we'll just have a little extra time to get out and explore and do some fun things together. So you won't be bored. You'll have some extra time to slow the pace down, do some studying and things like that, and to possibly do some more sightseeing as well. But by the end of this month, I'm guessing May 15th is a date where the country's reevaluating, where they're at and choosing what to do with some of their restrictions and everything. And so after that date, we should have some more concrete information about these local communities and what our level of involvement will be able to be. And then lunchtime right around noon, and then every afternoon, 1 to 5 is classes, is when we're in our classes. And just a reminder that we're not all lumped together in classes. If you're on a special track like educators or medical, then you'll be with those groups, and then also within those groups subdivided into your level. And so if you haven't had a chance to do the online placement test yet, that's an important piece for us making the determination of who is going to be in class with you, or if you'll be on your own or whatever. And then also there's an oral interview when you get into country. Sarah asked the question, are we on our own for lunch? So yes, in the sense that you're not having lunch at your host family. Oftentimes we'll be together doing something, and there'll be a couple of options for some local restaurants or something, and we'll go together to lunch. Okay. And once you get a lay of the land in town, then you might decide, oh, I'm going to go over here today, that kind of thing. So, okay. And then on the weekends is when we have free time to go explore and see the great, exciting sites that Costa Rica has to offer. So we're asking you to take a look at those weekend excursions and register before June 1st so that we can get all those hotels booked and everything, and get all of that stuff lined out. So the way the weekends work is that we return Monday morning, late morning, and then you're ready for class Monday afternoon. So we leave Saturday morning, spend Saturday night, Sunday night, return Monday morning, and then you're ready for class in the afternoon. Okay, to go through just a quick reminder of the first few weeks of optional excursions. So the very first weekend, the very first Sunday.
Can I interrupt for a second?
Yes.
Yeah. So weekends are really up to you guys. Some people just want some time to decompress after a busy week and hang out with the host families, and some people really want to travel and do optional excursions. So it's really up to you whether you want to participate these or not, or do every other weekend. We have people that do the whole gamut of things in the past.
Yeah, absolutely. So here's some of the things that we have on the schedule. The first Sunday, June 27th, is the Cafe Brit tour planned, which is a local coffee. It's a coffee tour. It's sort of like an example coffee plantation. It's a really fun story of the history of coffee in Costa Rica. So that's a fun tour. We will probably schedule another one of those dates later on in the program, since we have folks coming in at later dates and everything. And so later dates to be determined on that one. Friday, July 2nd, which is the first Friday, and again, we will add another date for this one as well, is a chocolate tasting. Oh, it is so amazing.
Best chocolate.
Cebu are some local, it's two local guys who put together a business a while ago, and they have all this history of chocolate throughout the world, and they make these exquisite chocolates right there. And it's a nice morning activity and lunch and everything. And so that's the first one is scheduled for Friday, July 2nd. We'll add another one probably in week 2 or week 3. We'll figure that out.
Cheryl says, okay? Semana cuatro, por favor.
Semana cuatro, por favor. Okay, all right, Cheryl. And then July 3 through 5, Manuel Antonio is a beach. And so we will go and hang out there. There's a beautiful national park there with monkeys and sloths and all sorts of like zoo grade animals right there in nature. So it's pretty fun. And then the following weekend we'll be in La Fortuna, which is where Volcan Arenal is. This volcano you see here behind me, Volcan Arenal, and there's all sorts of fun activities. There's a pretty amazing thermal pools there, some fun zip lining to do, and it's completely a waterfall hike, completely available and accessible for everyone regardless. So it's a great weekend trip. And then there's a one-day trip scheduled for Sunday, July 11th. And Leslie, this is there'll be some high schoolers on this one too, Leslie?
Yeah, there'll be some We have a 2-week, 3-week, and 4-week high school program. So there will be some 3-week high school program students on this one as well. And we've done this in the past. If adults want to join in, that's absolutely fine as well. But it's a long day. It's a bus to a port, to a catamaran, to out to islands, okay, snorkeling around, hanging out at the beach, a really nice lunch on the beach, and then a catamaran ride back to the bus, and then bus back. So it's a long day, but it's absolutely gorgeous.
It's kind of like sunset catamaran back, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. All right. So that's a one-day thing on July 11th. And then the following weekend, July 17 to 19, Tortuguero is a place on the eastern on the Caribbean coast of Costa Rica, and it's tough to get to. You bus there, and then you boat up a river, and then you get to your hotel, and you're on this beach, and this is where in the toward the end of July and through August, turtles are nesting and laying eggs. And so at night, we can get together with a guide and go out and see turtles laying their eggs. It's a pretty amazing, like once in a lifetime type experience.
It's the green sea turtle. That's the species that does it. The green sea turtle, they're as big as a dining room table, and you get to see them come up out of the water, actually bury a hole in the sand and lay eggs. And that takes anywhere from, I don't know, 15 minutes to an hour. We've been standing there before, and then head back into the water. So it's pretty fantastic. It's a remote place to get to. As Rory said, it's you can only drive so far, and then you have to go in through these water canals.
Yep. So those are some of the weekend excursions that we've got planned. You know, if your dates don't line up perfectly, or you have other things on your list to do, it's completely fine. Leslie and I will be 100% available to you to help you make sure that you get to do and see what you want to do on a given weekend. Okay, so if you're thinking about other things, or if you've got a family member coming, and you want to do something with them, we'll be glad to plan it for you. So Brian, I see your question in there. After week 4, you see the numbers kind of participation of folks in country diminishing quite a bit. So we probably won't be able to put together like a group thing, but we'll certainly help you figure out what you might like to do. Okay. All right. The meeting is being recorded. So if you need to log out, you're welcome to log out.
One thing about these optional excursions, if your start date is like on Saturday, July 3rd, and you want to participate in the Manuel Antonio excursion, for example, then we suggest that you come in on Friday beforehand, so you can jump on that excursion and meet some people, and then plug into your host family the following week.
Yep. And so that goes for anybody coming in a later week. If you want to schedule your flight for Friday instead of Saturday, so that you can jump on the weekend excursion. People do it all the time. It's a great idea. And if that doesn't work out for you though, no problem. Donnie, you'll get to meet Donnie over the summer. She will totally take care of you and make sure you're all good to go over the weekend and ready to meet back up with us on Monday. Okay. All right. So coming soon, I told you about La Lista de Delincuentes, and this is no one's getting called out tonight, but here's in our next meeting, we're going to be asking you, if you haven't gotten this stuff in yet, we're going to be asking you to work on it. So the travel registration form, the contracty stuff, copy of your COVID vaccination record, copy of your passport, copy of your flight itinerary, and your Spanish placement test if you haven't done that yet. So that's what's coming in our next meeting. We'll be asking you for those things. Okay. All right, next steps, and we're winding down. We'll be able to take questions, and we'll have plenty of time. Okay. Okay. So Nicole, you can just send it via email. That's fine. Your image of your scan of your COVID vaccines. Okay. Next meeting. Next steps in meeting. So work through your pre-departure course. After this meeting, we'll send you the slide deck so you have all these links and everything. Okay. Complete and submit all your paperwork, passports, all that stuff. And then still under development is our day-to-day itinerary. We will by our next meeting, hopefully have a very detailed day-to-day plan for you so that you can have it. It's in a Google Doc. You can have it on your phone, or you can have it printed out and know exactly what's going on day by day throughout the trip. And volunteer work, we hope to have more details for you during our next meeting there. All right, so próximas reuniones are June 2nd and June 23rd. Those are our next two meetings. So June 2nd and June 23rd, this same time, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, and Central 7. Okay, all right. Muy bien. That's all
I
we
just
have.
dropped something in the chat. I made a checklist on a Google Doc for all our programs. So you'll see high school on the left, all their paperwork and links to everything, and then all our adult programs. So I just dropped that in the chat. You guys can open up that checklist, make a copy, and use it as a checklist for yourself, and make sure you have all the documents there. All the contracts, pre-departure course, flight information, everything's linked up in there. So you can open that document, and we'll send that out in an email as well. It's actually not quite finished, but it's almost finished. So you have access to it right now.
Which is the beauty of a Google Doc.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Sounds great.
So Stuart, yeah, good question. How will we know you have everything you need from us? Okay, so we have a fantastic assistant. Her name is Danielle. And 30 days before your departure, she will email you saying, you can't go until you have this turned in. Okay. So she's send you a 45-day warning, which is coming up very soon, and then a 30-day warning. And that is how you will know.
Awesome. Okay, we are here for your questions. You're welcome to drop them into the chat box. I'm going to stop sharing my screen here. You're welcome to drop them into the chat box, or unmute yourself and we can take them live. If you got to run, you got to run. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for making time for this tonight. We are so looking forward to getting to work with you face to face in Costa Rica.
Yeah.
Nicole's asking about host family stuff. Yes, so Nicole, about a week or 2 weeks before your trip starts, we'll have confirmed your host family for you. Okay, and then you can know about the family, if there's kids in the family and everything. And so that info will come 1 to 2 weeks prior to your start date. Stuart,
And
you had a question?
The travel insurance, will we get it sounds like I'm under the impression we have to prove when we show up in Costa Rica that we have this travel insurance that meets all of these requirements and physically show it to them.
Yeah.
So when does that get to us?
You'll have that in an email to you before the end of this month, Stuart. We'll have your travel insurance all set up for you. We just haven't submitted it all to.
And then you'll want to print out the policy. And have that. I would both print it out and then have a PDF copy on your phone as well, and you can present one of those to the immigration.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm staying longer to do something extra, and you said I could buy extra days of insurance from you. Do I do that on the website when I'm paying my balance?
Yes, but I'll have to tell you what that number is. I don't know it exactly, Stuart. I haven't entered you. It's all depends on your age and that kind of stuff. So as soon as I submit all that, and I have you on my list for extending, I'll confirm with you the specific dates before we submit for that policy.
So that brings up a good question. There are not several, but some people have said they wanted to extend because their trip's not done in Costa Rica. So we can extend it. We just need an email. Rory and I will not remember tonight. So just email us with your dates, your exact dates, and then we'll extend it. And then we'll let you know once we get that quote from the insurance company, and we'll let you know what additional expense it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
No problem, Cheryl. And Cheryl, you might need it or want it for your husband too. Maybe, aren't you traveling with a family member, Cheryl?
Yeah, she has that in the chat.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
great.
And then Lynette says, if we bring our own meds, do we need to have the receipt to prove that it's from a pharmacy, etc.? So a general rule of thumb is if you bring your meds, it should be in the original containers with the prescription on it, with your name on it, is good enough typically. It is helpful to have a prescription if you need to refill, or if it's a medication that if you lose and you need to refill it right away for your trip in Costa Rica, then it would be good to have a prescription just in case.
Yep, absolutely. Good question. So Cheryl, yes, we can cover your husband. We'll change the dates for him and just have it be when he's in town. So just send me that reminder email with those specific dates. So Lisa, as far as vaccinations go, the one important one is the COVID vaccination. And malaria used to be a thing in Costa Rica. It's not really that much of a thing in Costa Rica anymore. And so there's very minimal risk there. The other stuff that is kind of a normal risk, like dengue and Zika and other things, all these mosquito borne illnesses, we want you to be, and it's in the pre-departure course as well, we want you to be really conscientious about using repellent and proper clothing at dawn and dusk, that kind of thing. So
most of the areas that we're going to be in, definitely our home base is very low risk, if no risk for dengue, Zika. The one place, Tortuguero, on the Caribbean side where we go see the green turtles, there is low risk for malaria there. So that is something that it's really up to you whether you want to take a medication for that. I would, look at the links in the pre-departure course that we send out, and you can make that decision, maybe have a phone call with your doctor, make that decision, but make sure your current vaccinations are up to date, hepatitis A, B, tetanus, those things as well.
Yep.
Go ahead.
In the one of the lessons on the pre-departure course talked about the things we're doing in the community, and we're supposed to wear professional dress. I'm just wondering what that means.
3-piece suit.
Okay.
A tux.
Awesome. So I want to look good while I'm down there.
That's right. So professional dress, when we have opportunities to be in the community, then it's like business casual, like a polo shirt and khaki pants or something like that. It's really easy for us guys, Stuart. It doesn't have to be as nice as like church clothes or your daughter's wedding or whatever, but just I'll wear either a short or long sleeve button-up shirts, kind of like I wear all the time, with khaki pants and
let's loop Dr. Mark Morris into this, because he's been to Costa Rica before, participated in the volunteer work. Mark Morris, what do you wear? What's professional dress for you in Costa Rica?
And he's quite fashionable.
I think long pants for men, and a skirt or dress for women, that something other than Bermuda shorts.
Yes.
Okay.
It works well for both sexes.
Okay.
Yes. And then I want to loop in Rachel Martin, because she's been in Costa Rica, done the volunteer work for the educator program. What are your suggestions for professional dress for ladies down there?
I guess I just look at it as to what I wear to school on a normal day. So when it would get warm, I would wear like longer capris. And then I tried not to go with anything sleeveless. I always had at least a little bit of a cap sleeve on it. No flip-flops. I tried to avoid flip-flops. So nice pair of sandals, or I even have some Chacos that I bought, or just something nice that you can still walk in.
Yep, that's good advice.
Tennis shoes okay?
Tennis shoes are fine. Yep,
okay.
For sure.
Yep, that's really good advice. Mainly no shorts for volunteer work.
That's fine.
For both genders and in between, and then no like for ladies, no short skirts, things like that. Just respectable clothing.
Leslie, I can't wear my new booty shorts.
No, you're making me blush.
Can he wear them at home?
No, not at home either. Not with 3 kids running around. Okay, next question.
Then what's the point of the shorts? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, let's move on.
I have a question.
Yes, thank you.
Anytime. I was wondering about the phone because I don't think that my phone will be working right away when I come in. So I was wondering, how do we get in touch with you from the beginning? How do we find you?
Yeah, that information is going to be coming in our second and third meeting, but we will probably a week or a couple days before our program begins, before Rory and I leave the country in June, we'll start a WhatsApp group. And that is how we'll all be in touch with each other. So if, especially on travel days, if flights are delayed or whatever, you can be in touch with us about that so we can inform your host family about picking you up. And for people like Cheryl that start in week 4, we won't loop you into the WhatsApp group right away. We'll loop you in when you need to be looped in so you don't get bombarded with all those messages. But that's the best way to be in touch is through the WhatsApp group. So you'll get information and instructions on how to download that app. It's a free app. You can use it off of Wi-Fi. And then also for phones, this has come up a couple times, so I'll just answer this question. You know, if you want to use your phone in Costa Rica, how can that happen? If you have T-Mobile, T-Mobile service works in Costa Rica. Okay. If you have another carrier, AT&T, Verizon, you want to check with them. And see what their international plans cost. I know Rory and I have Verizon and it costs $10 a day. So we opt not to do that because that's a little bit over our budget for being there when we're there for 6 weeks. So we just buy a local SIM card in Costa Rica and put it into our phone and use that. So, or we have lots of participants that just use Wi-Fi, put their phone on airplane mode and just use Wi-Fi. So it's really up to you, but there are options if you need to be in touch or you want to be in touch and want to have a local number so you can be in touch at all times. And that is, there's more information about that in the pre-departure course as well.
Yeah, we'll help you do the chip. If you want to put a local chip into your phone, we'll help you do that. It does make your US number no longer, you know, just all your calls will go to voicemail. You won't receive calls on your phone when you do that, but it is a good way to have a local data connection while you're down there. So we'll help you do that if that's what you want to do. And Nancy asked the question, what's typical volunteer work like? So for typical volunteer work is usually some kind of educational project, whether that's healthcare folks educating about health to an underserved community, or educators or general adults working and talking through some sort of educational project within a community. That's what typical volunteer work is. And we're, like we mentioned earlier on the meeting, we're just waiting to see what doors will be opened and which doors will be closed. Actually, we know they're most all closed right now, just based on the whole situation, but we're waiting to see which ones will open up for us in basically the month of July.
For educators program, we have some creative opportunities in the works that we're trying to figure out if it's realistic. So you'll get more information about those.
Yep. All right, what other questions can we answer for you?
Rory, I know that you said at the last meeting that they are short of like hand sanitizer and stuff. I've been seeing a lot of our hand sanitizer like going on clearance. Would that be maybe something that we could bring down and like donate to Lapa Verde or like to the other places?
Yeah, that'd be great. Yes, yeah, absolutely.
That'd be great.
Yep. Leslie, question about PDUs. Yeah.
Yeah. Nancy, for the educator program, it is not too late at all. If you just want to, after this meeting, send me an email and I'll send you that information. The window for registration actually opens in June, the month that our program starts. So there's time to do that. And I can send you pricing and everything about that.
So Lynette has a question. Can we do both programs at the same time? So the classes, your classes, Lynette, if you're doing the medical classes, then you wouldn't be able to be doing the educator classes or whatever at the same time, just because they happen at the same time. And so we could look at over the course of your 4 weeks, Lynette, if you want to, sort of breaking that up and dividing it up between that. So maybe half of the weeks within the medical program, half within the ed program, that would be fine. So we can look at that if you want to talk through something like that. Lisa, yeah, the liquid stuff is really just for stuff that you are carrying on. You can check in your hand sanitizer, no problem. You can check that on. All right. What other questions?
Did you already say something about the gifts to bring for the host?
Yeah, Nancy, that's in the pre-departure course as well, in the host family expectations. But some good things are, we always recommend gifts that are interactive. So maybe like a game or a scenic book of the state that you're from that you can show them, some of your favorite places to go to or whatever. Colorado, for example, we have Celestial Seasonings tea and Rocky Mountain chocolate. So we tend to bring those types of things so we can explain, okay, Colorado's known for, or Rocky Mountain National Park calendar or something like that. But there's lots more ideas in the host family lesson as well.
All right, these are great questions. We are right at 7 o'clock, so if you feel like you need to move on to other things, feel free. Thank you again for joining us tonight. Our next meeting, June 2nd, same time. Okay, if you have further questions, hang on. We'll be glad to answer them for you.
No problem, Nancy. You're not behind either as far as not watching the videos. It's just, everything is delayed on everyone's side. So we're all trying to catch up and there's still lots of time.
Yep, absolutely.
Thank you guys so much for joining in and taking time out of your busy days and evenings and away from family and commitments. We appreciate it. We're looking forward to being on program with you guys.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. So send me those emails if I mixed up your dates or if I have extra travel insurance to get for you. That'll make sure I get it squared away.
Thank you. Bye.
You're very welcome. Buenas noches.
Buenas noches.
Buenas noches.
Hasta luego.
Hasta luego. Goal.
Goal.
For your daughter.
Yeah.
Go watch it.
I'm gonna go watch it right now. Yeah. But I wanted to say, Mark Morse, we're so excited that you just jumped in with your granddaughter on this program.
Oh, yeah, okay. Right. Okay, I'll look forward to seeing you on the 2nd.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good, Mark. Buenas
Hasta
noches.
luego.
Buenas noches.
Buenas
Buenas noches.
noches.